I want to explain to you my basic philosophy around sleep. I view sleep as composed of six essential elements, and it's kind of like a jigsaw puzzle. You can't have perfect sleep without all of the elements in place all at the same time. So oftentimes parents will say, well, I'm fine with him napping in the stroller at 4 in the afternoon. I just don't want him to wake up in the middle of the night. And the deal is you have to work on everything. You don't necessarily have to work on everything exactly at the same time, but it's the fastest way to get to great sleep. And it is what I generally recommend. So the first essential element to creating great sleep is having a consistent routine. Now, most families out there actually do have a consistent routine by the time their baby is, let's say, 4 or 5 months old, if not sooner. The problem is at any age, if your routine consists of a parent laying down with the baby, feeding the baby to sleep, leaving an iPad or a TV playing, all of these things rely on a parent's help. And what happens is, however you fall asleep at night is how you're going to need to fall asleep when you wake up after these little tiny wakenings in the middle of the night that we all have between sleep cycles. So for you as an adult, you probably used to falling asleep in your bed with lots of pillows, comfortable blankets. Well, imagine if you fell asleep in your bed and you woke up on the living room floor. It'd be really hard for you to fall back asleep. The same is true for your child. If your child falls asleep being rocked, bounced, cuddled, fed, when they wake up during the night, they're going to expect that again. And if you're not there, they're not going to know how to go back to sleep. So we will change your child's routine so that it ends with them falling asleep independently. This doesn't mean that you need to do cry it out or anything like that. It just means when the lights go out, whatever your involvement is, we're going to gradually or abruptly withdraw it so that your child does that essential work of putting themselves to sleep by themselves. The second element is eliminating any sleep debt. When human beings are tired, their bodies produce a stress hormone, cortisol, that acts kind of like caffeine, which is great when you want to be awake. But then, just like caffeine, it makes it really hard to fall asleep, stay asleep, and not wake up too early. So we'll work on eliminating your child's sleep debt. For younger kids and younger babies, that would be shortening their awake intervals. For older kids, it usually looks like moving bedtime earlier. The third element is the sleep environment. So that means making sure your child is in a dark, quiet place. I generally recommend white noise. If you're bed sharing right now, we'll talk about how to transition your child normally. I don't insist, but most of my clients choose to transition their children to their own beds. It can be in a parent's room. It can be in a sibling's room, not a problem. Making sure the room isn't, doesn't have a lot of light or, electronics, things like that. Number 4 is sleep needs. Using a Google Doc sleep log, you'll track your child's sleep. I'll go in and give you feedback every day based on that data, and that will help us figure out what amount of sleep your child needs. Every child is different. Number 5 is sleep timing, which is a little bit different. What is the ideal child for your time to go to bed at night, to wake up in the morning? What time are the naps optimally timed so that your child gets the most restful sleep? And the last one is self-soothing. So many of the families that I work with, related to the consistent routine, the child doesn't know how to soothe themselves to sleep. So we will help in a variety of different ways to help your child learn, excuse me, how to put themselves to sleep so that they know what to do in the middle of the night, as I discussed with element 1, if they wake up between sleep cycles, as we all do. The great thing is that by the end of the 2 weeks working together, your child will be really, really great at this. There shouldn't be much, if any, crying. Your child will know how to soothe themselves, how to feel better, how to feel safe in their own bed, and how to put themselves back to sleep. I'd love to hear if you have any questions. Please send me an email or visit my website, peacefulparentsleepcoaching.com. I'll talk to you soon.